came in and broke the biggest news of the year. Thorpe Park are rebranding X. Yo, what is going on guys? My name is TheJackSilkstone. So here it is, the very first coming to Thorpe Park in 2018 video. As I said, this year I wanted to make a few of these videos, and honestly I wasn't expecting to have to make one this early, but over the past week or so there has been some insane news that I just couldn't stop myself from talking about. So I set up the camera and yeah, we're gonna have our very first chat regarding what is coming to Thorpe Park in 2018. But just before we get onto that, we're gonna have a quick look at what Thorpe Park have been doing to tease the new things that are coming 2018, because obviously in previous years we had the Derren Brown's Ghost Train Rise of the Demon posters appear on parks during Fright Nights. The year before that we had the Minds Wanted videos. At the end of each season, Thorpe like to start teasing what's coming in the next year, and this year has been no exception, because if you watch to the end of Thorpe Park's 2017 season video, then you would have seen this screen right here. I mean, it's obviously nothing big, but it clearly shows that Thorpe Park are planning on bringing something big to the resort in 2018. Now if we start to dig a bit deeper into this video, we can see on Twitter when Thorpe Park tweeted this video, it came with the message, let me get my phone, it came with the message, meet you at the safe zone in 2018. So judging by the red 2018 in the video and this caption, meet you at the safe zone, I think it's safe to say that Thorpe are going for quite a dark theme with whatever they're bringing in 2018. If you carry on watching, I'm pretty sure we can work out just what this dark theme is going to be, but we'll get to that later. Also, just to mention, back during Fright Nights last year, the Thorpe Park 2018 actor application forms were also sent out. And on these forms there was an interesting bit of information which says 2018 will be another exciting year for the resort, with a brand new world's first opening this spring. So back in Fright Nights last year, which was like a few months ago now, we already knew that there was going to be a world's first coming in 2018. This personally didn't get me too excited, because we all know what Merlin are like with world's first, and especially Thorpe, who, well, we're still waiting for the summer's world first, aren't we? So yeah, doesn't mean too much, but it's exciting at least. So then, ever since this information came out from the park, there have been plenty of rumours flying around, loads of speculation going on. I'd heard a few things, but you know, nothing major had come from it. So yeah, we just carried on enjoying Fright Nights, because it's the best time of the year, isn't it? But as we got towards the end of Fright Nights, myself and Kieran started being told to go and have our last ride on X. This news was a bit weird to me and Kieran, because A, X had just had a refurbishment during just before summer this year, so why would we go and have a last ride on it if it's just had work done to it? And B, it was Fright Nights, so why would we do rides? Fright Nights is there for the mazes, like no rides. I think we did 3 rides in like 12 visits to Fright Nights this year, so yeah, we don't do rides. I think our final ride on X was in the Thorpe Park to Ourselves vlog, which is up there if you haven't seen it. It's a very good vlog. So yeah, we never actually did ride X one last time, because we thought it would just return as normal in the 2018 season. But then, once Fright Nights has ended, once we started getting over Fright Nights, from the same sources that were telling us to have our last ride on X, we started hearing that X was being torn down. This was very devastating news for myself, but I just kind of blocked it out. I thought, no way would that happen, no, I didn't want to believe it, so I didn't. Until I started receiving photographic evidence, and it was true. Parts of the X building were being torn down. In particular, the front of the building was taken down. It's gone now, doesn't exist. And we were literally wondering, why would they do this? It's such a random thing to do, tear down just the front of the building, nothing else. We were so confused, basically. And that is when, big up Thorpe Park Mania, they came in and broke the biggest news of the year, of the century. Thorpe Park had applied for planning permission to build something new out the front of X. Now, as you can see on these plans that Thorpe Park have published, essentially what Thorpe Park want to do is build a big watchtower out the front of the building with like a chain link prison-like fence by the looks of it. Also out the front of the building where the old extension queue line would have been for X. And yeah, it's mad, like these plans seem to have come out of nowhere, but I've been looking at them in detail and I think we can come up with a pretty good idea of why Thorpe Park have done this and what their vision for X is in 2018. So just the fact that they want to build a watchtower, and along with all of the teasing that Thorpe Park have done with like meters at the safe zone, the red font, there's no point in hiding from it, guys. Once again, we're in this position. Thorpe Park are rebranding X to a Walking Dead attraction. One of, or possibly the only IP coming to Thorpe Park this year will be I'll give my opinion on what I think of this in just a little bit, but yeah, it's clear to see. As you can see in the gates plans, like there's old tyres being used, and the idea of the watchtower, as I said, back in seasons 3, 4, and a bit of 5, no, 3 and 4 mainly in The Walking Dead, is set in a prison, so the idea of a watchtower being there, like, it just fits perfectly. Also, interestingly, back when the Ghost Train was being built, they wanted to build a watchtower, more of like a Victorian style one, but I'm not sure if it got denied planning permission or they ran out of money, or I don't know, but they were going to build a Victorian style watchtower. So it's pretty cool that they now are doing that, but outside of X. Now, just to point out, these plans that Thorpe Park have applied for in no way affect the ride hardware itself. That means most likely the ride layout won't change, nothing to do with like the ride itself will change. They've just applied for these changes that will happen outside of the building. That doesn't mean that anything will change inside. I think it definitely will, because as you can see in the plan, they're planning on moving the bag room for the ride, which was previously just outside of the station. They're now planning on moving that right out the front of the building, as well as far as I can tell, a pretty big queue also outside the front of the building. Now, what does this mean? Well, in my opinion, they're clearly clearing space within the X building, because also on the plans, there's a pre-show just as you go into the building. So after this pre-show, they're gonna have the whole of the old X queue line to play with. Like, they can literally put anything in there, because it's not going to be used as a queue line anymore, presumably, so they can theme it to whatever they want. Prison cells maybe, like hospital wards, literally the world is their oyster. They can put whatever they want in there now that they've moved the queue line outside of the building. So yeah, I think it's really exciting personally, because literally they can do anything. Now, of course, because The Walking Dead Living Nightmare, the Fright Nights maze, is situated within the same building as X, I don't know, could they somehow link the ride with the maze and have it as a permanent all year round attraction? Because as you guys probably remember, myself and Kieran were saying throughout the Fright Nights videos that we could see The Walking Dead Living Nightmare return as a permanent attraction for 2018. So the fact that the queue line of X has now been moved outside, they're retheming it to a Walking Dead style attraction. Could we perhaps exit X into the maze? Could the old X queue line somehow link into the Living Nightmare and you do that before you go on the ride? I really don't know, but it's looking likely that The Walking Dead Living Nightmare could return as a permanent attraction next year alongside the Walking Dead ride X. So yeah, super exciting. Living Nightmare is my favourite maze, as you guys probably know, so perhaps they could even extend the maze, because the old X queue line used to take you into that part of the building. I'll insert a video now of the old X queue line, where Living Nightmare is now.
And then pass onto the vortex, which creates a feeling of disorientation.
So yeah, if Thorpe Park can pull this off somehow, then we could be in for a very, very authentic and highly detailed Walking Dead attraction There is also the possibility that perhaps Thorpe Park could go with a VR option and have VR on the ride now, because obviously it is dark within the pyramid when you're on the ride, so I don't know, we could be seeing VR on board X next year. Obviously themed to Walking Dead. I don't think I'd be such a fan of this, but we'll have to wait and see. And also just to point out, as far as I'm aware, this would be a world's first. Thorpe Park would somehow make it a world's first, wouldn't they? Like, I'm pretty sure it would be the world's first Walking Dead ride. I don't know, they'd probably say world's first Walking Dead VR experience, I don't know, but they would find a way in marketing it as world's first, so definitely ticks that box. So that is everything that we know about the new X rebrand so far. As I say, I'll be making a new video as soon as we get any more information on this, but yeah, super exciting so far. Now, the one other piece of big news that we received in the last week or so was the updated Thorpe Park opening times for the 2018 season. Now, as always, we found out when the park's opening and all that kind of stuff, but there were a few big changes that have been made for the 2018 season. The main thing being 10 PM openings are returning to the resort over the summer period. Every Thursday, Friday and Saturday throughout summer, the park will be open until 10 PM. That's so sick. Like, I'm sure a lot of you will remember the old event that they used to do, summer nights, where the park would stay open until 10 o'clock, I think. Minimal queues, like sunset rides, it was so sick. It seems like they're going to be making kind of a return this year with these late summer openings. It's mad. But with this good news, we do get some bad news. At the moment, Fright Nights will only be occurring throughout October in 2018. There have been no dates released for September. The September dates were only released midway through the year in 2017, so we can hope that that will happen again. But at the moment, Fright Nights is only happening in October 2018, not September. So yeah, that is everything that we know about the 2018 season at Thorpe Park so far. Some very, very interesting news, and as I said, I'll be bringing you guys updates as soon as they happen on this channel, so be sure to subscribe to be notified as soon as I release those videos. So we're going to end this video with a special little segment to say goodbye to a very, very dear friend. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Leave it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below what you think of these updates, and yeah, subscribe to be notified when I upload future videos. Thank you for watching, guys. My name is TheJackSilkstone. Goodbye.
Right to the park, everyone's here, and first ride of the day, what is it, John? X! We're heading on the best ride to Thorpe Park. It's X, everyone, here we go.
Everything going on. Best ride here. X.
Bye, Luke. Yeah.
The floor is long. Come on, keep it down, we're gonna die.